Well, what a glorious day working for Hanson's on a sunny day like this. Oh well, best start my visual checks for the morning. Oh look, 3 points of contact. Okay, 1, 2, and we're in. We'll get our board so that we know exactly what we're checking as we go around the vehicle. Safe exit from the cab. Again, making sure that we use 3 points of contact. Okay, we'll run through our daily checks first. Here I have a sheet that I prepared earlier, which we're just going to go around and summarise again. Okay, just checking that number 1, we have a valid certificate for the calibration of the tachograph, which by law has got to be present on the edge of the cab. Number 2, we'll put our lights on. Okay, so our first visual check, we're going to go around and check that all our lights are working. We have keys in the pocket. Okay, all lights are working on this side and the brackets are all intact. Our indicators are working. Bottom strobes are working. And we have roof beacons operating. Okay, again, indicators are working, lights are all intact. That's good. Rear strobes are in operation, rear indicators are both working, and we have side lights. We'll have to find a member of staff in a minute just to check the brake lights. That's good. All our side markers and warning devices are all in operation, so we know all that's working fine. We'll turn off our indicators and side lights for the moment. Again, must remember 3 points of contact. Okay, our lights are all off. First we check our battery and cover is all fitted correctly and the isolator's on. That's your isolator switch. All our mirrors, including your curb mirror at the top and any mirror guards that you have fitted, are all intact. Our front visual mirror just up the top there, that's good. There's nothing loose, no obvious signs of damage. It saves on my bonus. I'm going to check the window screen now, looking for any obvious chips in the glass. There's no chips. All we have is a few suicidal flies on the screen. That can be washed off at a later stage. Okay. I'm now going to go around and check all my tyres, my wheel nuts, and also my wheel nut indicators. Whilst checking the tyre, check the depth of the tread. just to make sure obviously that it's within the legal limit, which you can see is. We've got no cuts, splits or chunks missing out the tyres. All the wheel nuts are all in line, so we've got no obvious loose wheels on that one. Not going to lose any wheels today. Again, going around just checking, look for anything obvious, maybe nails, bolts or anything sticking into the treads of the tyres. On the visual part you can see nothing obvious. Again, looking at the condition of the wheel, and also that all your wheel nut covers are all pointing towards each other to show that you've got no loose wheel nuts. Again, same on the next set of tyres. No splits, no cuts, no chunks missing, good tread. Wheel nuts are all in place, all lined up. Checking on our rear steer tag axle. Again, bit more difficult to see unless the tag's down, but you can feel that the tread is good on there. All the wheel nuts all in alignment, and no visual signs of damage to the wheels. Coming down on the driver's side, again just checking through, making sure we've got no splits, which is quite common on the rear tyres because of being a steer tyre. Sometimes you clip the curbs when you're turning if it's on a tight turn, but we have no obvious signs. All the wheel nuts are all in alignment and the wheels in good tack. Again, checking on the drive axles, no cuts or abrasions to the tyres. Got one small nib on the tyre there, nothing of consequence though, hasn't gone through to the actual wall of the tyre, it's just a surface nick. Okay, all the wheel nuts are all good. Tread's all good on that tyre. Wheels in good condition. Wheel nuts are all in alignment. And finally on the front tyre, again just going around checking it. Last thing you want to do is have a tyre blow out on you, so we're just checking, make sure we've got no nicks in the tyre, no splits, no chunks missing. Wheel nuts are all good. Must be tyres and wheels checked. Check the body guards. Again, checking that the secure pins are in and they're fixed, because they will protect anyone who comes up against the side of the truck. On the side that lifts, again, got two pins to check. They're all intact, no obvious parts of it are loose, and the board's secure. Okay, what I'm going to do is on the body guard is small bits of equipment that have been fitted to go into the drum. Although they're part of the drum kit, we still check them on the vehicle check because they're on the body guards. So it's just in case you're going back, make sure they're all locked and there's no sign that it's going to fall off. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. All the lighting brackets are all intact. No obvious signs that anything's going to come loose. My number plate is nice, it's clean, it's visual, and also that both the retaining screws are in place. That's good. Just having a little look at the wires and the cables as well, make sure nothing's come loose. That's good, I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm now going to check my engine oil. Which you need to check on a daily basis. There is a onboard computer gauge, but it's not as accurate as physically using a piece of rag and checking it yourself. Okay. We're going to dip the oil, make sure the oil's all okay. That's good. The oil's at a good level. It's not too much and it's not too little, so we're not going to cause adverse damage to the engine by having too much oil pressure. Okay, coolant level's good. Filler cap's secured, same as the oil cap, and there's no obvious signs of anything being loose in the engine bay. Always worth a little check. It's good. Again, once you close the front, just ensure it's secure. You don't want that flying up the road on you. Okay, now we've gone through those items, I'm now going to get into the cab. I'm going to check a few of the visual items within the cab with regards to pressures, indicators, ensuring that my indicators are all working. Close the door for a minute so I can see all the cameras. Okay, so first off, we'll start the engine up and check we've got good air pressure in the system. Okay, on your gauge system you can actually go in and you can check your braking system. I always depress the brake and allow it to build back up again. It's within the green zone, which is good. Look at my battery status. My batteries are charging, they're showing a full charge. It's got a good voltage. My oil temperature isn't too bad, it's not excessive, and my oil pressure is around about 4.8 bar, which is correct. That's those checks completed. Whilst I'm in the cab, I'm just going to check my individual indicators, making sure that you can hear the indicator within the cab. Whilst checking the near side, because you've got a camera system, again using the 3-point system as you get out of the cab. It's running nice and smooth, there's no obvious jumps where you've got grit into the actual rollers. Closing that down now. Okay, grease nipples are all okay. Whilst checking all your auxiliary equipment, ensure things like the scoop at the back are all secure, they're not going to rattle loose or fall off. Also go around and check that all your signage is in place, of which I've actually lost a sign on that side. Must defect that and get that reported. Although it's not a prohibition, it is something that Hansons do like us to display. Okay, whilst checking, I'm going to check that my chute moves freely and doesn't require greasing. Also that it's in the travel position and locked in, and also that the handle for extending the chute is nicely greased and running freely. Check that your chute lock moves freely and is in good working order. Okay, so whilst going along the back, the simple things like checking that you've got no loose items, that your washout tray is secured into position, also that your chutes are in their correct holding position, and that the latch works and that it's holding it into place. Again, you've got two chutes. That's good. Whilst I'm going around, I'm also doing a visual check on the A-frame, looking for any obvious signs that there could be possible fractures in the metal. A-frame's all looking good. Everything's clean. Okay, the A-frame for the pig's ear all looks in good condition, no splits, doesn't look anything loose. A good little check when you go around as well, just check your wheel arches and ensure that none of the brackets are rusted and that you've got the opportunity of a wheel arch coming loose whilst travelling on the highway. All secured. That your pipe work for the water is all in its fixed position. No obvious signs of leakage on that. We've got a cooling fan for the gearbox. If it's constantly running, you need to defect it. It should only kick in at certain temperatures. Good. We'd normally check our water level to ensure that we've got sufficient water in the tank, but seeing we're not loaded yet, we're not going to actually do that at the moment. Okay, whilst walking down, just do a little visual, make sure that things like fuel caps and blue caps are all in place. We've got a motor guard for the drive on the PTO, which is this here. Just ensure it's bolted into place, it protects you from any moving parts. There is a grease nipple on the end of the shaft, which when it goes into service, they will grease it up for you. Okay, I'm quite happy with the condition of the drum, it's all clean. No signs of build up on the outside from concrete. I'm now going to get in and do a visual check on my cameras, just to make sure my cameras are working, and also that my reversing beacon is working. As you may have noticed, I use my 3 points of contact yet again when getting in and out of the cab. Okay, for this we're going to keep the door open so we can hear. Engage in reverse. As you can hear, my reversing beacon's working. I'm looking up and I can see quite clearly that I've got good vision from my rear camera. When my indicator's on, I've got good field of view from my near side camera. And then just a visual check, go into all 4 cameras, and as you can see, I've got a full viewed from the front, and also I also have a full vision from the driver's side. Okay, once you've done your checklist, just go through and sign it. If any greasing's required, do that. And on the weekly checks, go around and check that all your nuts on your drum are secured. That completes my daily checks. Okay, remove your keys and use your 3 points of contact when exiting the cab.